Hello viewers and my students, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to discuss top 30 MCQs from Ode to a Nightingale, the famous poem by the romantic poet John Keats. This is said to watch the other sets and also the text and annotation of the poem. Follow the links given below in the description or press the I button. So, let's begin. Number 31. Why 31? Because in the previous set up to 30 MCQs are explained. So this set or set 2 begins from 31. Ode to a Nightingale was published in, the options are Annals of the Fine Arts, Endymion, The Eve of Saint Agnes, Lamia, Annals of the Fine Arts, it was published in 1819. Endymion, we know, one of the famous poems. It's very important, and in this poem we find the famous line, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." Eve of Saint Agnes, it was published in 1820. Lamia, also important one, it was also published in 1820. And Ode to a Nightingale was published in the volume named Annals of the Fine Arts. And we know that the poem was written in 1819 in spring and was published in the same year, that is 1819, in the volume Annals of the Fine Arts. Next, 32. Oh, for a draught of ... Here Keats longs for. The options are flight, wine, immortality, opium. This is from stanza 2. The full line is, "Oh, for a draught of vintage that had been cooled a long age in the deep earth." And here Keats longs for, obviously, for a draught of vintage. Vintage means wine. So the right option is B, wine. Why does he long for wine? Because he wants to transport himself to the world of the nightingale, from this earth, or from the world of the weariness, the fever and the fret, that is sufferings and sorrows. And in order to transport or carry himself, he is in need of a medium. And here he speaks of wine, and he wants to have wine as his medium of transport. Next, 33. Where youth grows pale and spectre thin and dies. Rhetorically, this line is an example of, the options are simile, asyndeton, synecdoche, oxymoron. Simile, we know, in a simile an explicit comparison is made between two different things or objects or ideas, and the point of similarity is made explicit by the words as, like, etc. For example, the girl is like a rose, I wander lonely as a cloud. Then asyndeton, in an asyndeton the words and phrases are used but there is no connective conjunction. And then synecdoche, synecdoche, we know, the name of one thing is substituted for that of another, intimately associated with it. And then oxymoron, in an oxymoron two contradictory words are juxtaposed for a striking effect. For example, he is carefully careless, the boy is regularly irregular. And this line, where youth grows pale and spectre thin and dies, this is an example of, obviously, synecdoche. Why synecdoche? Because here youth, it is an abstraction. Youth is said, but young persons are referred. So this is an example of abstract for concrete. And the different types of substitutions used in a synecdoche are denoted by the expression pawsim, P-W-A-C-I-M. P for part for the whole, W for whole for the part, A for abstract for the concrete, C for concrete for the abstract, I for individual for the class, and M for material for thing made. So the abbreviation Pwacim, Pwacim. So this is an example of A, abstract for concrete, because here abstraction, youth is said but young persons are referred. So this is an example of synecdoche or abstract for the concrete equal to synecdoche. Next, 34. Keats wishes the wine having association of, the options are nightingale, Bacchus, dryad, flora. Nightingale, the bird; Bacchus, we know, god of wine; dryad, we know, wood nymph or nymph of the trees according to Greek mythology; and flora is the Roman goddess of flower. And Keats wishes the wine having association of, obviously, flora, because in the second stanza he says, "Oh, for a draught of vintage that had been cooled a long age in the deep delved earth, tasting of flora and the country green." So he wishes the wine having association of flora. Next, 35. But in embalmed darkness. Here Keats suggests dash image. The options are color, death, flower, life. Actually, the expression embalmed darkness is an implied imagery, because here darkness is imagined as or impliedly compared to a dead body. A dead body is preserved with aromatics, drugs, or fragrance. Likewise, here darkness seems to be preserved with the fragrance of different kinds of flowers. So, embalmed darkness. Darkness is here compared to a dead body or corpse. So, here we find, obviously, death image. So, the right option is B, death image. Next, 36. Dance and Provençal song. Provence is in, the options are Italy, France, England, Ireland. Actually, Provence is in southern France, bordering Italy and Mediterranean Sea, and Provence is famous for wine and grapes because it's a wine producing area. So the right option is B, France, because Provence is situated in southern France. Next, number 37. And leave the world unseen. This line explores. The options are escapism, imagery, sensuousness, realism. This is from stanza 2. The full line is, that I might drink, that means wine, and leave the world unseen. So here Keats wants to get rid of this world of the weariness, the fever and the fret, or the actual world full of sufferings and sorrows as he painted. And in order to escape or get rid of this world and also to transport himself to the world of the nightingale, he is in need of a medium. And here we find, obviously, his desire to escape, that is, leave the world, and he wants to get rid of this world or the world of sufferings and sorrows. So here we find a note of escapism. So the line explores, obviously, escapism. So the right option is A, escapism. Next, number 38. Full of the true, the blushful hypocrite. Here Keats describes, the options are the beauty of a girl, the color of wine, fountain, Pegasus. This line is from the second stanza, and here obviously Keats describes the wine, and in this context he alludes hypocrite, and hypocrite according to Greek or classical mythology the name of a fountain situated in Mount Helicon, and blushful, the term blushful means the color or the red color of wine. So blushful, the wine is here impliedly compared to the blushing face or cheek of a girl. So blushful here means obviously the red color. So here kids describes the color of wine. So the right option is B, the color of wine. Next, 39. Thou wast not born for death, immortal bird. This line is an instance of, the options are pun, chiasmus, epigram, alliteration. Pun, we know, in a pun, there is the duplicity of sense or meaning under the unity of sound. For example, his knowledge about sound is really sound. Or, in the game of cards, a good deal depends on a good deal. Then, chiasmus. In a chiasmus, there is the inversion of the order of words when repeated in the same sentence. Example, beauty is truth, truth beauty. Or fair is foul and foul is fair. Then epigram, we know that in an epigram there is a striking contradiction in the apparent meaning of the sentence, but there is an inner significance. For example, the child is the father of man. Failures are the pillars of success. Cowards die many times before their death. And then alliteration. In an alliteration, there is the repetition of same words or sound or letter at the beginning of successive or nearly successive words. For example, forest ferny floor, faithful friend from flattering foe, alone, alone, all alone, alone on a wide, wide sea. And here, this line is an example of, obviously, epigram. Why epigram? Because the line is apparently paradoxical or contradictory. Thou wast not born for death, immortal bird. Because a bird can't be immortal. But the poet means to say that the bird is not immortal, but his song is immortal. Actually, the song here stands for art. And we know art is long, life is short, and art is obviously immortal. Because the bird as a type is referred to here. It's the bird of history. The songbird is not immortal, but the bird song is. When the individual nightingale dies, its song is taken up by its successors for generations to come, for all the time, and thus its song gets immortality. So this is an example of epigram. And again, this line is an example of synecdoche. Why synecdoche? Because here bird is said, but only nightingale is meant. So it's also an example of synecdoche. Whole for the part. Whole, that is, all the birds are mentioned, but only nightingale is meant. So whole for the part. Next, number 40, sunburnt mirth. Rhetorically, this is an example of, the options are pun, personification, hyperbole, transferred epithet. Pun, we know, in a pun there is the duplicity of sense or meaning under the unity of sound. Personification, an abstraction, inanimate object or natural object is attributed with the attribution of living being. Then hyperbole or exaggeration, an exaggerated statement is made. Then transferred epithet or hypeles, that is, the epithet or adjective is transferred from its proper place to another associated with it. And here, sunburnt mirth is an example of transferred epithet or hypeles. Why? Because here the adjective or epithet sunburnt is transferred from its proper place, that is person, to mirth. So this is an example of transferred epithet. And sunburn mirth refers to the merrymaking or mirth or enjoyment of the people of the sunburned countries like province. These people exposed to the sun looked brown-skinned because of their participation in open air, that is sports and dancing. So this is an example of hypeles or transferred epithet. Next, number 41, Keats's Ode to a Nightingale contains dash stanzas. The options are 7, 10, 8, 12. We know that Ode to a Nightingale contains 8 stanzas and each stanza has 10 lines. So total 80 lines, and all the lines are written in iambic pentameter except the 8th line or line number 8, and the 8th line is in iambic trimeter, and the rhyme scheme of each stanza is ABAB, CDE, CDE. So Ode to a Nightingale contains 8 stanzas. So the right option is C, 8 stanzas. Next, number 42, the blushful hypocrine. Hypocrine is the name of a or an. The options are river, angel, fountain, deity. Actually, this line is from stanza 2. The full line is, O for a beaker, full of the warm south, full of the true, the blushful hypocrine. And hypocrine, we know, according to Greek mythology, hypocrine is the name of a fountain situated on Mount Helicon. And it is said that the hoof of Pegasus, the winged horse of the sun god, fell on Mount Helicon, and as a result, this hypocrine was created. So, hypocrine is the name of a fountain, obviously, and here we find Greek or classical allusion. Next, number 43, kids died at an early age of. The options are 25, 24, 26, 30. We know the lifespan of John Keats. He was born on 31st October 1795 and died on 23rd February 1821. So he was alive only for 25 years. So the right option is A, 25. Next, 44. O for a beaker full of the warm south. Rhetorically, this is an example of. The options are oxymoron, metonymy, zeugma, pun. Oxymoron, we know, two contradictory words are juxtaposed for a striking effect. For example, the boy is regularly irregular. Metonymy, we know, in a metonymy, the name of one thing is substituted for that of another to which it has a certain relation. And zeugma, in a zeugma, two nouns are connected by a single verb. For example, the movement and the vessel passed. Then pun, we know, in a pun there is the duplicity of sense or meanings under the unity of sound. And this line, O for a beaker full of the warm south, this is an example, obviously, metonymy. Why metonymy? Because here warm south is said, but the wine produced in southern Europe is meant. So this is an example of place for its production, because we know the different types of substitution used in a metonymy are denoted by the expression siasen. Siasen, S stands for symbol or sign for the thing symbolized, I for instrument or organ for the agent, A for author for his work and place for his production, C for container for the thing contained, E for effect for the cause and cause for the effect, and N for name of the passion for the object inspiring it. So this is an example of place for his production, because here the place warm south is said, but wine produced in southern France is meant. So this is an example of metonymy. Next, 45. Lethe words had sung. Here we find a or an dash allusion. The options are biblical, historical, classical, medieval. Lethe words had sung. This is from the first stanza, and the full line is 1 minute passed and Lethe words had sung. And according to Greek or classical mythology, Lethe is the river of forgetfulness, because it is said that human beings must cross this river after death and before birth or before coming to this earth, and they forget everything after crossing this river. So this is called the river of forgetfulness, and these ideas are to be found in Greek or classical mythology. So this is an example of obviously classical allusion. So the right option is C. Classical allusion. Next, number 46. To my soul self. Here, soul self means the options are imagination, escapism, elf, reality. Actually, this line is from the last stanza and the full lines are: forlorn the very word is like a bell to toll me back from thee to my soul self. That is, real self or the poet must return from the world of imagination or the world of the nightingale to the actual world. So here we find obviously reality or soul self means the real world or reality or the actual world. Next, number 47, and leave the world ... fill in the blank. And this line is from the second stanza and the full line is: that I might drink and leave the world unseen. Actually, here Keats speaks of wine and he mentions wine in order to transport himself to the world of imagination or the world of the nightingale. So, the right option is and leave the world unseen. So, the right option is D, unseen, not then unknown unconscious. It is unseen. Next, 48. The woman Keats loved was Asia, Mary, Harriet, Fanny Brown. We know that Keats was in love with Fanny Brown and this love affair did not materialize. So he loved Fanny Brown. So the right option is D, Fanny. Next, number 49. Keats died of. The options are tuberculosis, heart attack, cancer, polio. We know that Keats died at an early age of 25 in 1821 and he died of tuberculosis or consumption. And not only he, his brother Tom or Thomas Keats also died of the same disease, tuberculosis. So the right option is A, tuberculosis. Next, number 50. Or new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. Rhetorically, this is an example of. The options are zeugma, synecdoche, litotes, irony. Zeugma, we know. In a zeugma, two nouns are connected by a single verb. For example, the moment and the vessel past. Here, the two nouns, the moment and the vessel, are connected by a single verb past. But the nouns require separate verb. The moment passed and the vessel sailed away. Then synecdoche we know. The name of one thing is substituted for that of another intimately associated with it. Then litotes, we know in a litotes, a strong affirmation is made by denying the contrary. For example, the boy is no fool, that is, the boy is intelligent. And irony, we know, in an irony, the contrary or opposite of what is said is meant. The purpose is to damage one's character or reputation. For example, it was a successful operation, though the patient died. And this line, or new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. This line is from the third stanza, and here Keats presents a dismal picture of the sufferings of the world in general, and new love means new lovers or young lovers. So here love, that is abstraction, is said, but concrete lover is meant. So this is an example of abstract for the concrete. So the right option is B, synecdoche. Next, 51. No hungry generations tread thee down. Here, the term hungry is applied to. The options are the bird, nature, human beings, the fairies. This line is from the seventh stanza, and here Keats obviously wants to prove the immortality of the song of the bird, and in this context he satirizes human generation, and he means to say that human beings are always in a competition, or they are engaged in the struggle for existence, or they are always hungry or dissatisfied. So here hungry means obviously dissatisfied, and the term is applied to obviously human generations or human beings. So the right option is C, human beings. Next, 52, called him soft names. Here the poet speaks of the options are wine, imagination, the bird, death. Actually this line is from the 6th stanza, and the full lines are I have been happy in love with his full death, called him soft names in many a mused rhyme. So here kids means obviously death, because he loves or prefers death after reaching the world of the nightingale, because he is in extreme happiness, and amidst this happiness death would be a pleasing thing to him, because he would like to enjoy his full death or death without any pain. Next, number 53, he was a Greek. This is said about Keats by the options are Shelley, Hazlitt, Arnold, Lehand. We know that regarding the predominance of Greek elements or Hellenic aspects, Shelley made this remark and he said that he was a Greek, that is, Keats was a Greek. So the remark was made by obviously Shelley. So the right option is A, Shelley. Next, 54, Flora is the goddess of, the options are flower, wine, love, marriage. And we find the reference of Flora in the 2nd stanza. The line is, oh, for a draught of vintage that hath been cooled a long age in the depthful earth, tasting of Flora and the country green. And Flora, we know that Flora is the Roman goddess of flower. So the right option is A, flower. Next, 55, I cannot see what flowers are at my feet. The poet is unable to see due to the options are darkness, intense light, his slumber, his lack of attention. And this line is from the 5th stanza. And the other lines are, I can't see what flowers are at my feet, nor what soft incense hangs upon the boughs, but in embalmed darkness. So the poet is unable to see due to darkness, because he is now in the world of the nightingale where darkness prevails, and due to this darkness he can't see the flowers under his feet nor the flowers hanging from the branches of the trees, but he was able to conjecture or guess the flowers by their fragrance. So the right option is A, darkness, because darkness prevails in the world of the nightingale. Next, number 56, still wouldst thou sing. Here, still refers to, the options are at present, after the poet's death, past, after the poet's arrival to the world of the nightingale. And this is from the 6th stanza. The full line is, while thou art pouring forth thy soul in such an ecstasy, still wouldst thou sing, and I have ears in vain. And it's obviously after the poet's death, because in the 6th stanza, Keats prefers death or is full death, and in this context he means to say that even after his death the nightingale would go on singing. And here we find the contrast or dichotomy between evanescence and permanence, that is, permanence of art here symbolized by the song, and evanescence of human life, that is the life of the poet himself. That is, the poet means to say that he is mortal, whereas the song of the bird is immortal. That's why the bird would go on singing even after his death. That's why he uses the word still. So the right option is B, after the poet's death. Next, 57, I have been half in love with dash death, fill in the blank. And this line is also from the 6th stanza. And here The full line is, I have been happy in love with easeful death. Actually, after reaching the world of the nightingale, the poet is in extreme happiness. And here, he wishes or longs for death, obviously easeful death, or the death that brings ease or relief from the miseries of the world or sufferings of the world. So, we find easeful death, not prompt, painless or easy. The right option is easeful. C. Easeful. Next, 58. And with thee fade away into the forest, dash, fill in the blank. The options are deep, green, dense, dim. This line is from the second stanza. The full line is, and with thee fade away into the forest, dim. So the right option is D, dim. And here kids wants to escape from this world or get rid of this world of the weariness, the fever and the fret or sufferings, and he wants to join the world of the nightingale. And the world of the nightingale we know, dim forest. So the forest dim or dim forest. So the right option is D, dim. Next, number 59, where youth grows pale and spectre thin and dies. Here, spectre thin means thin like. The options are rope, ghost, fairy, finger. Spectre means ghost. So the right option is B, ghost like thin. Actually, this line is from the third stanza, and in this third stanza, kids presents a dismal picture of the world or the sufferings and sorrows of this earth. Next, number 60, that hath been cooled a long age. Here the poet speaks of the options are sorrow, wine, imagination, flower. And the lines are from the second stanza, and we know that in the second stanza, Keats describes wine. That is the special quality of wine he longs for in order to transport himself to the world of the nightingale. And in this context, he mentions the wine that had been cooled a long age. Why cooled a long age? Because wine is said to be refined and superior in quality. The cooler and older it is. And he obviously wants to drink the wine which is cooler and older. That is having refined and superior quality. So the right option is B, wine. So completed.